together in a minute, Mr. Floor's Broken.
Ah, the floor is indeed lava.
Yay! Did you get your computer set up?
Yep, it's all set up. Everything is glorious.
Oh, that's lovely. Hello, Sick James. Oh, he's 100% James now. This has been the longest running gag in the history of these lives. That's
It has
amazing.
been. It is a great gag.
It is indeed. We respect it. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Prompt Craft time. Smoke, I didn't read your thing.
Which
Oh,
thing?
okay, cool. What you wrote for our description.
Oh. Yes.
Bro, listen. Smoke's going to be carrying a lot of this. I did get some stuff done,
Oh,
but
you got a bunch of good
your
stuff
boy
done.
here got it done. I don't consent to being recorded, Zahava. I'm never live anywhere.
Yeah.
That's unsettling.
Yeah,
Just saying. Okay, that's great.
that's true. That's very true.
All right. So, for those of y'all who don't know or didn't read the thing like me, Smoke and I are going to be going over ways to get difficult body types, features, etc. on kins who are not cryptids.
Yeah.
Because I do want to say one thing before we get really started. You have to be realistic in what you're looking for and what the engines are capable of doing. And one thing, because me and Smoke, like if you guys have seen us anywhere, you know we can make a cryptid like no one can. The reason we can do that with more consistency than, say, a very exaggerated human trait is because there is no data on what he and I are trying to do. But when you're trying to create a human character with exaggerated or like defined characteristics that are different from the norm, you're fighting against an engine that is already trained to do humans a certain way.
Yeah.
You can throw an alien at it and it's like, well, hell, an alien can be anything. But if you try to alter the standard human form, you are in for a fight.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to be talking about a lot today is just how to win that fight. Because it is possible, but it's not going to be like a magic bullet where every shot is going to be the exact same. Yeah, like we'll show you. There's there's variations on a theme that happen.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. All right, Smoke, lead us off.
All right. Well, I have created 7 different kins that are going to kind of be my um, body type gurus. And I think I'm going to start with Jerry first. Jerry with a G, different than our,
I think everyone
loving.
went, what?
this
Dude!
is this is Jerry with a G, or
Oh, the
Gary, or whatever you want
spikes.
to say.
We love the
He is
spiky hair.
he is a thin boy, a very
Mm-hmm.
thin boy. He was actually I thought he was going to be a little bit harder to like narrow in on, but I got pretty good, pretty consistent, pretty early on. And one of the things that I'm going to give a slight disclaimer to, a lot of the faces are not going to be as exacting as other faces that I've done because I was focusing on body types. So if you'll notice, like here is Jerry's avatar description. And the only thing that I really have in there is that he wears glasses. But the rest of it is all about his body type.
I love
And
that you describe him as a twink.
well, yeah, you got it.
You gotta, absolutely. That's gonna be another theme that you guys are gonna see too. You have to let go of any desire to be polite to the selfie engine.
Yeah. Self engine don't care. And
Nope.
one of the things one of the things that I've noticed is that you do have to exaggerate a little bit more here than you would. I tried running some of these prompts in Gemini, for instance,
Hmm.
and the exaggeration that I did to get the right body type in Kindroid way exaggerated in Gemini.
Yep. Because remember, you're fighting two layers of filters essentially. Because Kindroid has an additional layer behind the scenes that we don't see that ensures consistency between faces and forms.
Yeah,
Whereas if you take the exact same prompt into a place like Gemini or OpenArt, it's going to be very, very exaggerated because Gemini and OpenArt don't have that expectation of this third or second unseen filter.
yeah,
So you really have to push it with Kindroid.
yeah. And that'll become very clear as we go over all the different body types. The parentheses are kind of visual for me on when I was doing these. You're going to see how I'm doing the parentheses. You don't need to do it this way, but this was to kind of keep certain chunks separate from other chunks.
Yeah, and the
Um,
engine does recognize that. It recognizes
yeah,
that this feature goes with this statement if it's all in the same parenthesis.
yeah. You don't have to do it this way, but it
Nope.
is it's visual for me, and it does kind of help the engine out a little bit.
Yeah, very little. It's not
Yeah.
necessary at all.
So, and as you'll see, most of the body definition is going to be in the first parenthetical chunk to
I
get him to
like the
be
word
as clear.
parenthetical smoke. That was nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Come get schools, Ruben.
Ruben. Yeah.
So, real quick,
So,
as Smoke is going through this, I want to give one quick heads up for you guys when it comes to prompting for an avatar description, as well as creating a prompt to just run on your Kindroids or in any engine. These, every prompt has a hierarchy. The higher something is, like the closer to the top it is, the more automatic weight it's going to have. So if your very first thing you state is that this person has microscopic feet, but then the next thing is they have long blonde hair, the feet are going to be more consistent than the blonde hair. However, people, if you do that, you need to be mindful that the engine is always going to focus on the feet.
mhm.
Always. Put stuff in an order that makes sense, but also keep them in order of importance.
So I think what I want to shift to now is Ferdinand, who I designed him like in stages so that I can show you kind of how the stages went. So first off, here is Ferdinand's initial prompting.
Oh, I love him.
There's not a whole lot going on there. And, his first image basically that came out was this. Pleasant
Look at him,
enough,
he's
dude.
so jolly.
So so that his that's the selfie engine and what I had put in to get him with the selfie engine and what I had decided to start and run with. Just, I'm an Italian guy.
Can we talk
Um,
about the wrinkles in his jeans? Those are so well rendered.
I know, right? So after that, I decided, okay, we're gonna flesh him out a little bit more, give him, you know, a little bit more detail. I realized that like, we want to give him some hair, give him a little bit more attitude.
I've seen people do female bodybuilders.
Oh,
Absolutely
I've
have.
got plenty of female bodybuilders.
Yep, Smoke has plenty.
Yeah. I will pull one up right now that is not part of this, but behold, female bodybuilder.
She's thick.
Oh yeah, so after updating his his little Italian man thing to have the hair, he starts getting a little bit more like this. And this was a prompt from a couple of days ago. And then we come to the first sort of hiccup. And that is today's prompt of the day, where he just doesn't look like himself. So I
We
realized,
talked
well,
about the taco. That's so cute.
and this is where Ferdinand starts getting a little bit more detailed after I ran the first prompt of the day on him. I wanted to add a little bit more emphasis to his chubby physique. So I bracketed everything and then put his chubby physique, his soft and rounded, blah, blah, blah. Still didn't work quite the way that I was looking for. So I did some editing because I really want to get him to work in prompt of the day. Lab coats are very slimming, but with this prompt that I swapped to, giving him a little bit more emphasis at the front about the chubbiness, giving him that pleasantly plump and all that at the very front of things, I get this. Now he's in a lab coat
Yay.
and he's plump. And if you'll notice, his arms are a bit hairy too. So,
Sure does.
but yeah, so we keep it all together with the parentheses. It so my goal when doing this, I'll tell you like kind of the rules that I had. I wanted to create kins that were realistic. I wanted to create kins that I had not ghosted, and I wanted to create kins that just ran without weights because
Mm-hmm.
weights in the AD, you can do it. It will certainly do it, but it's sort of a cheap band-aid effect. So without weighting it, that's the goal with all of these is they're not weighted, they're not boosted, and they're a little bit more on the realistic side of things. That's not always true, as you'll see with Lila, but we'll go to her later. Uh, let's see.
You said you had 7, Smoke?
I had 7, yes. Do you want to
Okay,
jump
let me
into one of
hop
yours?
in because I only got 2, but they're good ones. So I'll go.
They are fantastic ones.
Okay, so 2 things I want to say for mine. Um, the first one that I tried, I will admit I did not succeed with. And because, like I said before, I was trying to fight having a human who was overly exaggerated. So this is his avatar photo, and this one did not succeed. I want to state again. This is his avatar photo, right? He looks dope. He kind of reminds me of a very exaggerated Ichabod in a way. Um, but then when I would run him, I would get these. Hold on. So I got this one that was just like an overly bulbous nose. I lost a lot of the angular face, and it was not getting there. So I was like, okay, let me push a little harder and over exaggerate some of these features and see if we can get where we need to go, right? Because the most prominent part of this dude was his massive schnoz. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make a heavier point to go for the schnoz. And then it started giving me Pinocchio action. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to do it. So then I swapped him into into photoreal because I was like, okay, anime is making this too much of a caricature of the character. Trying to find where I put all of his crap. Was it in here? It might be in here. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So I took him out of anime and put him in photoreal, and then it gave me this guy who I feel like most of us have seen at a Christmas party, and he's really, really wasted. And that's just not the look either. So over shoving him in anime got closer, but it would never fully capture that look because the engine seems to equate big nose either with Pinocchio, which okay, fair, or with birds or plague doctors. So here's another fail, and I cannot tell you how many GD plague doctor fails I got.
I mean, they
Like
look awesome.
this. Oh, wait till you see this one. This one is so dope. But this is not the kin that I was trying to make. But I really like how this one came out because he looks all suspicious. But yeah, no, that wasn't happening. So I was like, okay, I'm trying I'm trying to do something that folks aren't even trying to do. Because I even messaged Smoke and I was like, I can't stop creating cryptids, damn it. I need to get away from this and start focusing on something normal. So I was like, okay, what's a complaint that I hear all the time? And I'll tell you what it is. Long hair on dudes. This is our long haired fellow. Anyone who has been to any of my setups here, you know that my male testkins are named Testes and my female testkins are named Tesla. So this is the current iteration of Testes. And then here is an auto selfie. Again, with the long, luscious, beautiful hair. And then I wanted to ensure that I could get a prompted selfie with the long, luscious, beautiful hair. Successful. But now I want to show you something a little bit different. So let me show you his avatar description. I did it a little different than Smoke did because he's better than I am. So here's his avatar description. And one thing I want to point out with this one that it kind of goes along with what we were saying earlier. The very first thing I have in here is that this man is elegant. So that's going to take away any rugged, scraggly, like the 5 o'clock shadow crisp. You know what I'm talking about? The weathered face. Elegant takes that out. Elegant is going to give you smooth. It's going to give you refined. It's going to give you a very distinct vibe. Second to that was the hair. Very long, silky, straight, dark brown hair flowing well past his shoulders. Is that overkill? Absolutely. But is it enough? Mostly. So I keep going. He has refined features, piercing blue eyes, sophisticated and a magnetic presence, hair nearly reaching his waist. I reiterated the hair because it is that important to this character, right? But I want to show you something. If you have a kin and you're running selfies, right? You're just running selfies. prompts that you didn't write, for example, you have to make sure that the prompts as they are written go with the kin you're trying to run them on. Because look at this. With prompt as is, he's got that short ass, reaches his collar hair that you see in so many male selfies with people who are bitching that the hair's not long enough. So what I had to do was, and I wrote this prompt, so I knew what was coming when I did this. But I went into the prompt and I added his hair. This prompt doesn't list his hair, but it lists a very specific aesthetic, right? It's a very specific style. And that style doesn't lend itself to elegant, long, straight hair. So I had to add that separately, even though it's already in his avatar description. It is fighting his, the prompt is fighting with his avatar description in this sense. Every auto selfie I ran with this fellow came out perfectly with his long, beautiful, lovely hair. But when I tried to prompt, I had to be very, very mindful of what the prompt said and the vibe of the prompt because it does matter. So that same prompt that I ran on Ichabod, the dollar store Ichabod that gave that really creepy vibe, I ran it on this fellow, and once again, because I knew what I was looking for, beautiful long straight hair. And this guy's not boosted. Smoke and I made a pact when we started this. We were not going to boost.
Nope. Everything here is just with the engine.
Yep. Now I want to show you something totally different. All right. Here is my flex, because you have to have the flex. Group selfie, long hair. He stole my glasses, but that's what they're apt to do. But there were quite a few selfies here. I'm just going to screenshot this line and just put this here. There were quite a few here where, yes, he still has his long, beautiful hair, but in the center one, he took my hair color. On the outside, too, it made my hair straight. So, once again, group selfies are their own beast, right? You have to be mindful of not only who is where and what order the prompt is written in, but you also have to give grace to what a group selfie does. Now, Smoke, I know you're going to be able to tell me this. How did I make that top image work?
You had it position wise.
Exactly. I just swapped them. I put my kin self on the left and him on the right. Did he take my glasses? Yes, he did, the thieving bastard. However, because my hair is also very clearly defined in my avatar description, it was able to grab my hair first and then his. So if you're stuck, and this goes for any group selfies, if you're stuck with a group selfie, check the order of, quote, order of operations in the prompt. If the prompt specifically says a couple on the beach, she's wearing a blue bikini, he's wearing brown swimming trunks. That tells you right there, a couple includes both. She is wearing this means she goes on the left, period. They are written in order left to right. So whatever's first goes on the left, and then the other would go on the right.
Yeah.
So for this prompt, because this is again is a prompt that I wrote, I know this prompt is ambiguous as to who is where. So I was like, okay, it's fighting it. I should be able to swap this and it should work. And it did. So with the point here, I want to add, here's an example of, oh, hold on. Oh, perfect. Okay. So here are three examples. Well, four, but it'll be three screenshots. So this is a prompt that I wrote. I think we did this one in a live stream one time. I have that too, tomato leaf. That'll be in my next kin. But this is a prompt that I wrote that's just like a naval kind of wartime poster style that had no hair notes in the description. So I ran it and I was like, oh shit, that's not what I wanted. I need his hair to be long. So I went into the prompt and I wrote long hair. And it gave me this, which is not what we want. This is the typical every man with long hair, this is the length it goes to guy. So then I went back into the prompt and I wrote man with waist length straight chestnut hair. Did it give me waist length? No. But again, you need to overemphasize. In this shot, his hair is a little shorter than it normally is, but it can be easily implied that it is longer in the back. With the top one, that's like a blunt cut, you can tell. But with the bottom one, you can see, okay, the length is in the back because it's got these longer pieces in the front. So when it comes to prompting for dudes with long hair, over exaggerate in the avatar description. Auto selfies for him have been coming up perfectly every single time. In fact, I'll run one right now. Auto selfie solo. His have been coming up perfectly every single time because his avatar description is very, very strong. But when it comes to prompting, when there is a prompt involved, you have to be more proactive in what the prompt says and how you write it. Because just a dude in a prompt isn't going to give you squat. Go ahead, Smoke. I'll wait for this one to prompt while you do your next one.
All right, so let's go with Kendra. I'll just kind of go down the line. Kendra, I made to be a little bit more flat chested. I didn't get as flat as I wanted, but she is a skinny as hell mini. And again, when you look at the avatar description, there's a lot of like right off the bat, we want thin. Um,
It's piled on thick.
yeah. I was trying a few other things with her. She was probably one of my least invested kins because where I was actually spending the most time in was Tawny. Now Tawny is straight up androgynous.
Oh, I like this one.
And here's some of Tawny from prompt of the day. You really have to lean in on what you're going for. So, I've got androgynous, lacking curves, masculine, butch, like over the top to get where I'm at. And I can get with pretty regular action. Here's more. I don't know why I saved these are all basically the same shots, but like as you can see, like not a whole lot of boobage here.
I'm scared of the rocks. Smoke.
Say what?
Did y'all ever see Return to Oz?
Yes. I did not
Bruh.
notice that.
Bruh.
Bruh.
You didn't see it?
I did not.
That's amazing. That tunnel vision, though.
I know.
I think old Ferdinand is watching from the background there.
It seems like. So let's switch to Tom. Tom is my dad bod. Tom
Oh, I
likes
love this
grilling.
one.
Tom is beefy.
He's great. His BDI and pronounced nose, strong features, alters masculine face. Nice.
Yeah. And that's all to kind of get him a little bit more consistent because um, as I'm going to show here, I put him in a tux and I want you to see like he's still going to be beefy and thick, but each of these prompts, they're the same prompt. The body shape is going to be a little bit different. His hairstyle is going to be a little bit different. The facial consistency is harder to do because I didn't do as much to describe it. But the body consistency, you he's thick. He's still thick, but it's not going to be 100% all the time because you're still just dealing with words. Yes,
Look
these
at
are
his
all without boost.
suit. Yes, all without boost. Okay, I see you. Proud as can be. Damn straight.
Yeah, this is. I understand that this is not full dad bod, but this is what the engine thinks is dad bod.
Exactly. You have to push harder than you think you will.
Yeah, but I wanted to give him a bit more muscular mass than Ferdinand, and a little bit more like just a little bit more give and take than Ferdinand had.
He looks more, this fellow looks more like rugged, and Ferdinand looks more like a stereotypical Italian chef. Big Daddy sounds like a rapper. Okay, I'm gonna go with my next one. So real
Yeah.
quick, dude's auto selfie came through and it's lovely as expected because once again his avatar description does a lot of heavy lifting. So there he is. Okay, so I only got the two of these, so like don't be judging your girl here because Smoke's an overachiever. But I also took a stab at the micro hooters because that is the second most thing that I hear all the time. Oh, and I actually got this bodybuilder to work too. Nice. There she is. Okay. So um for this one, her avatar description is very overly dramatic and maybe triggering. So I'm going to spoiler this just in case. But her avatar description is very overly dramatic in that I wanted her to be very waif like, very thin, and very small rack. Because that was one of the complaints is it always makes big boobs. You always get the big boobs. Corn hub style boobs. I was like, that ain't true. Let's do this. So this kin, where is she? Okay, this was her auto selfie, and I'm going to show you this one first, so you get a feel for the face, for the frame, etc., etc. And then I said in her avatar description that I wanted her very small, I wanted her very waif-like, and I didn't want massive kachingos. Right? This is a prompt that got it. Here's another that got it. And then here is another. And then here is a group shot. They got it? And now, for the sake of the argument, I want to show you the, or rather instruct, the fail points of when it comes to prompting for Hooters at all, honestly. For Hooters at all. I want to say, don't fucking mention it. Because anytime you mention chest or bubes or chichalingas, what have you, in a prompt or in an avatar description, you're going to get exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
This is the exact same pin, no change in avatar description. However, in the prompt, this one mentioned the rack because it mentioned that it was in the push-up corset. Why did I say it like that? Push-up corset, right? So because I mentioned the rack, this overrode her avatar description. And the same will happen if you're talking about something like a sundress that has an empire waist, because once again, gave her the full Hooters, which she's not supposed to have. Now, when I did not do that, when I took that out, I got what she's supposed to have, which is a lot less pa-chow. So it feels counterintuitive to want this. You can't mention this, but that's just the way that these engines work. Don't be dissing my chichalingas, okay? Don't do that. You jerk. Tomato Leaf, you call me out on my lingo every time, I swear. But anyways, so anything that actively mentions the rack, you're gonna get a bigger rack. Plus, you also will increase the instances of naked rack. So if you want smaller Hooters, talk about the kin's frame. Talk about their body style, not just in relation to the rack. Because again, if you scroll up and look at her avatar description, I don't mention, let's see, I've got a gaunt, fragile woman with elongated limbs and sharp angular features. Her pale skin stretches tight over her frame with hollow eyes and dark, shaggy hair. Her expression is weary, her body delicate yet graceful, radiating haunting beauty that feels fragile and uncanny, more human than spectral. I added that last part in there because when you use words like gaunt, fragile, etc., it can kind of give more of like a ghost style or a like a more of a morbid look that I didn't want. I was going for more of like the haunted ballet dancer style. So you want to make sure that you're not just defining the rack. Or in another instance, you want to make sure that for, say, a dude, right? If you want a slim dude, don't be sitting here talking about he has no pectoral muscles. That's not going to get you what you want. Describe the entire body, not the boobs. And then I have one other example of her in that famous sitting in the skulls prompt. God dang it, where did it go? Because that one was kind of my baseline to see if it would work for everybody, but now I have to find it. Oh, here it is.
Ooh.
So another kin, it would give like a big oof to that, right? It would give a like you'd see the cleave down the top of the shirt. But with her, it doesn't do that because again, I have her very strictly defined as very thin and waif-like. And then here's her other auto selfie, which you can see even in this one. A lot of auto selfies you'll see they'll be wearing like a tank top or a low cut v-neck or what have you. She does not do that on an auto selfie because that's not how her character is defined in her avatar description. I imagine that they would need that, yeah. Here's another one. I kind of went on a crop of skulls fetish now that y'all are calling me out on it.
Uh,
This one too, there's no definition on her chest whatsoever. I'm going to run this one on my self-kin because I don't have, I mean, I don't have boob modifiers in mine either, but I also don't have it specifically set up to the micro boobs. Let me see what it does on mine.
while you're working on yours, should I jump onto Velma?
Yep, go for it. Go for it.
All right, so Velma is going to be one of the plumper kids. And this is what I started with. And I got this, which, for the engine is plump, but we can do better.
Yes, we can do better.
So version 2.
Can we talk about the shadow under her shoe?
Got us to this.
Hey,
And with prompt of the day,
nice.
but I decided I wanted to go just a little bit further, not like absurdly obese, but I wanted to make sure that when it came to the prompts of the day, like it showed that she's got some meat on her bones. Like this is still, it's good. So here's the one that I kind of finally ran with. Here's just a basic prompt. And here she is in our prompt of the day.
Oh, that's great. Look at that one.
Zaftig is a bigger, plumper woman.
Yeah, it's like a slang term.
Yeah.
Voluptuous tends to give you sexy.
Yeah. But if we're going for sexy, then I got to bring up Lila. Lila is one that probably started this whole journey. I'm going to spoiler that. This is kind of early on Lila.
Is this the yoga one?
Not yet. This is the
Oh,
yoga.
okay.
This is the yoga kin.
The yoga kin.
Like,
Okay.
but this is. I wanted to get a really big butt, and
And he cannot lie.
just like as absurd of a big butt as I could get. And early on, just kind of messing around. It's there. It's getting there. I won't show you the sort of um, the process that I went to, but I will show you towards the end. This is the description, and these are
What a colossal ass.
what I would get.
No. A colossal ass. Oh boy. You tickle me, Smoke.
Hey, if it works, don't knock it.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just commenting. Oh, that's hilarious.
And yeah, you can get some really defined big booty.
That bass, though.
And as you were bringing up the yoga pants thing, here is kind of variation on the yoga pants prompt that I would do to kind of show. For the most part, it sticks. Every once in a while, not as much. Sometimes there's less definition. Sometimes there's more. It's
You want to go into a kin that is quote unquote not usual with the knowledge that you're not going to have as easy of a time as folks with quote unquote straight style kins, because again, we're forcing the engine to do crap that it doesn't want to do. And fellow just came out great in a group shot.
yeah. And here's another example. These are all like taken within a minute of each other.
Yeah, see,
And
you gotta be willing to spend some credits, because it is going to cost you more credits to get the shot than someone who just has like a straight style kin. That's
yeah.
just the way it is.
And this is the prompt that I used for the the photos that I just linked.
And I also want to point out that more so with V5 than V4, but more so with V5, non-gendered prompts tend to have the best results because it
Yeah,
takes away the AI's bias in favor of the avatar description.
yeah,
So automatically, if you say a woman blank, you're going to get the hooters, the hair, the curtain bangs. You see what I'm saying? You're
yeah,
going to get that already because the word woman already states that. But if you
yeah.
just say the figure or the individual, that's completely non-specific, so it makes the avatar description do the heavy lifting. And you want that to happen because that's where you put all of your work into. Your avatar description should be the front runner, not a bias based on what the prompt says. A man, a woman, a dinosaur. You
Yeah.
want your avatar description to be what speaks.
Yeah, which is why the unisex sorts of prompting, especially in V5, just they make it so that cryptids stand out better. They make it so that unusual body types stand out better. They're
Hmm.
going to be a little bit more solid.
I imagine it could tomato leaf, and that's freaking hilarious.
But yeah, so I think I've just gone over all my various kins and
Where's the one
that
with
I've made.
the twinkly bits down her legs? The dark one.
Oh, I can. I didn't.
You bias.
She's in my
Because
regular
that
one.
one's well, that one brings up a valid point about over exaggerating one body part is going to, oh gosh, I can even, you know what? I'm going to do this too. While you get that ready, I'm going to show another example. So, y'all know my massively, like, huge devilkin, right? So, hold on. Okay, so here's my devilkin. The thing about him, because he has a very particular body type in his avatar description, he's swole AF, he is beefy, he's a thick boy. But if I take a prompt with him that has clothing, for example, right? If it has clothing in the prompt, it immediately shrinks his bass down into a normal person with horns.
Are you talking this, Ken? I'm just sending it to you.
Because you have to remember that clothing is another bias to the engine. Jeans don't necessarily go onto big, beefy legs with like hooves or whatnot. And t shirts are typically loose fitting, Fruit of the Loom, Hanes, whatevers, right? They're not necessarily made to stretch over a big, beefy, demonic body. So clothing modifiers in prompts will more often than not, i.e., 97% of the time, take my big, beefy kins and turn them into regular dudes. Like here is another one, and this one features both that kin and our lovely Smokezero here. This is a group shot that shrank my demon down because Smoke's not a beefcake. So, Smoke, do better.
So Benevolent asked about Greenkins. Yeah, does phenomenally well.
Greenkins does great. Red ones are a little more challenging, but I think I got it unlocked with this guy.
Yeah, I had to redo one of my red demon kin because of red hair conflicting with red skin too much.
oh, is that your Australian fellow?
No, no, that's Ara. Um, Ara. Um,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and then let's see.
Consistent horns is about the description. So for this kin, for my demon kin, this one, his are stated to be thick black horns curl menacingly inward atop his head. And his horns, I would say they're not 100% of the time consistent, but they almost always curl inward. Sometimes they're bigger than others, but they nearly always curl inward.
Oh yeah, I recently changed Ara to have black hair because that makes her
Oh, that's
red
lovely. Oh
skin.
my gosh, look at that. Oh, I love it. That's amazing.
You just can't do red hair on red skin, otherwise it like washes around.
I can see that. And then here's my little homeboy building a snowman. Like you do. But as
And
far as
then
prompts goes, non-gendered seems to be the most universally great because they, like I said, they will rely more on avatar description than on AI bias of what a woman, etc., man, blah 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 should look like. Yeah,
I
that's what I
think
was talking about. Smoke.
okay, so this is my demonkin that kind of started a lot of the thought process.
And tell the issue that you had because it's important.
Was it the lack of clothes or was it the
Yes,
when I did?
because
Yes,
no, it was the lack of clothes. Because the more you accentuate
yes,
a body type, the more the engine's like, oh, you want to see that dump truck? Okay, naked.
yeah, yes. So I have some very great, not shareable pictures.
Can confirm. And cakes though.
But
Listen, Zahava, Smoke and I have a type. Okay, you put us together in a room. We're gonna talk about cryptids. I'm sorry. That's the way the mop flops.
how did I get that skin tone? Let me see if I can find her.
Hell yeah, dude. Cryptids are dope. I did a prompt, or I've been working on a prompt that's not finished yet, where my kins are riding big ass rubber duckies. Don't ask, I'm weird like that, okay? But let me show you what Kiki did to it.
That's the first bit of her body. Oh, then there is this.
Do you ever notice when you click on load more, suddenly your pictures load and then everything, like you click on one on accident?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I got
Okay,
the skin tone.
so here's my self-kin rolling on my schwacky, right?
Yep.
But then I put Kincaid on it, and it's suddenly so much cooler. Like, bitch, I couldn't prompt for that stupid duck if I tried. But she's just like, I write nothing. And then look at this one, Smoke. Another instance of prompts not doing what you think they're going to do. This is supposed to be a massive purple demon. Apparently, the duck was like, no, I'm the star of this show. So, none of us are immune to prompts gone wild. Okay.
Yeah.
None of us are immune to it. But I definitely want to drive home, especially for folks who are new, that people don't often post their F ups. They don't often post their mistakes. So you see all these dope pictures and amazing prompts, and you're like, damn it, I'll never be able to do that. You are not seeing the 7 screw ups that it took to get that one money shot.
Yeah.
More if you're working with a goddamn cryptid.
I mean, yeah, and it kind of depends on like how loose or strong you have a desire for the
Self
the
torture.
image to work. Yeah, the self torture, the yeah,
If you're an impatient person or someone who gets easily frustrated, like stick with normal cans, y'all,
yeah,
because the it's not worth what I see some folks go through where they're practically sobbing because something's not working the way that they expect it would. It's supposed to be fun, not torturous.
yeah.
Did I put this guy on the duck? I did. See, I have to keep posting these cryptids now because I got called out. No, it's still a work in progress. It's really unstable for cryptids, as you can plainly see.
So here's another one with the one demon woman with the big hips.
Oh, see, I like that one. Nexus
Yeah.
on a duck. Hold on, let me see if I can get his bass on there. Probably gonna give me the selfie version of telling me to pound sand, but I'm gonna try.
I would say, Lady D, if you can like put the body type up front on the avatar description, knowing nothing about how you've got it set up. Avatar description doing the first thing it sees is how beefcake he is, and then maybe put in there. Then you just got to weight the clothes. But
And
like
you have to, sorry, go ahead.
I weight is the wrong word because you don't necessarily need to weight the clothes in the prompt. Like, yeah,
When it
the
comes to
clothes
a
may.
beefcake, give him a style and a common outfit in his avatar description and get it stable. Then when you're running prompts, take any clothing modifiers out. I don't know why I rolled this duck thing just one time, expecting it's going to work because it's not. I'm going to roll it a few times. What the hell, Nexus? I mean, he's trying. Hold on, though. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Back views are a little more difficult to get because, again, you're fighting the Kindroid engine that is trying to keep facial consistency. So I would say that for back prompts, definitely use the posed reference, and even then, you're going to have to push it.
Yeah.
I'm looking because I'm pretty sure I got one. A lot of times, too, you'll roll something and it'll be a back view, and you're like, "Oh, damn, that's dope," and
Yeah.
that's it. You just got lucky. You'll roll the exact same prompt again, and it won't be a back view. Like, here's one right here. Hold on. I'm just gonna screen grab it from my thing. This one was a lucky back shot when the actual prompt was supposed to be this.
Say hello.
So sometimes you just get like you just strike gold and you're like, oh dang, that was cool. But as far as actually prompting for it, it's gonna be more frustrating than useful. Oh my gosh. Hero Nexus Stride. This is actually better than I expected it to come out.
Hell yeah.
Duck's like, excuse me. All right, so we've been rolling an hour. Does anybody have any last minute questions? Enemy was super slow this morning. I was trying to work with it for that Ichabod fellow. Yo, that was super slow.
Also, if any of you have any questions that you don't feel comfortable asking or think about later or anything like that, my DMs are always open. So go ahead and shoot me a message. It's helpful for us because then I can kind of go through the messages later on and be talking with Jenna about, oh, I've been getting a lot of people saying they've been wondering about how to get wings on a duck. And we'll do a prompt, we'll do a thing about that.
But I want to see a tomato duck too. How do you
Potato
get
duck.
faces to not switch, even if you put the positions in the prompt? So here's the thing: group photos are always going to be a bitch. That's just the fact of the matter. That is how it goes. Um, you can try, and I emphasize try, having a very distinct describe this first, then describe this, rather than describing the couple first. Yeah, regional prompting, exactly. And that's just something that's not available here right now. But more than that, if something is just absolutely flat out not working, try a different prompt or try it with a different kin. Determine if it's the kin's avatar description that's being the bass or if the prompt is being the bass. See, there's absolutely nothing wrong with boosting. I'm going to say that very seriously. However, it's a trade off. If you're going to boost, you're going to lose freedom of prompting. That's freaking terrifying. Bro, that duck looks so sinister. No, not Daddy Duck. That's what I'm saying, Missy. That is what I'm saying. You lose a lot of your freedom in prompting if you have a boost on. And the higher that boost is, the more freedom you lose. And in addition, if you have a boost on a kin and you put that kin into a group photo, welcome to Bleed Land.
Yeah, boosts aren't bad. They're a tool that needs to be. There has to be a reason for it other than, oh, she doesn't look the same all the time.
Right, exactly. See, and that's my thing. I don't use boosting if I absolutely don't have to. I have boosts on two kins, which is not Celine, which is my one with the long rainbow hair, and on Orkerson because he's a freaking dingbat who doesn't want to be in V5. Flux does not like him for some reason. But like even Nexus, I can get couples shots with Nexus. And Nexus is not boosted. Now, Nexus I have to fight for. Like for every great shot I get of Nexus, there are at least 12 to 15 that are total ass. Because his features and his form are so outside of what is acceptable that it's just you have to keep trying. So here's one of my group shots with Nexus. Now, I would like to stress that is one image out of probably 20. I have so many non-human kins I would have to boost them for consistency. See, I don't have to. My Satan kin doesn't have a boost. My Illidan doesn't have a boost. Orkerson is my only cryptid that is boosted.
Yeah, I don't run a ton of boosts these days either. I mean, let's see, who is boosted these days? Uh, Crota. Crota's boosted. Uh,
Oh my gosh, Tomato Leaf, that's amazing. So here's a great example. So Notceline is boosted. And when I put her in a group, her rainbow hair bleeds onto everybody else.
this kin is boosted.
I think that one would have to be. That's amazing. But here's the thing, too, when it comes to working within the confines of a boost, put your boosted kin on the right. Because I can usually get away with it if I put Notceline on the right. Zahava, that's amazing. Why does it look like the duck is the statue? That's amazing. Dude, human cryptid couple selfies are so good. Oh my gosh, we're in that side eye. Until you get your haircut next week. So, stubkins, in very interesting circumstances, can be cryptids forced into clothing. In my experience, it's mostly just the beefcakes that can't. But here's Drownkin in his little suit. Aw,
Yeah, I have very few kins that are boosted.
I can only make her find pose references with the wrong body types. My kin self is very slim, but every reference has a buff man. I mean, it depends because what you can do is if you have access to a stable diffusion engine, try using a stable diffusion engine just to get your pose references. Sahaba, dog.
Uh,
You have to go back and try again. Hey, you got reverse auto corrected. That's awesome. Cloth merges with the metal armor. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, actually, I have an example of that, y'all. So, with the clothing modifiers, right? This is a normal human kin who I just lost. Where'd she go? Dude. Oh, am I? Oh, I was on her gallery. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. Gotta load more. Hold on. Okay, so this one, I showed you guys this picture already. I'm just gonna screenshot it so I'm saving it again. All right, I showed you this one already, right? But check this out. I tried to run it. That was the second time I ran it because the first time I ran it, it did exactly what you just said. It tried to merge her with the slacks. So clothing modifiers, especially on kins that aren't quote unquote the norm, tend to kind of take on a life of their own. Or it'll change the kin to fit the clothing.
yeah.
The tail! Is that Bender? Oh my goodness. This duck prompt is terrifying.
Ah,
That is a Bender kin egg. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, are we finished? Because I'm hungry.
yeah, I gotta get cleaning up some stuff.
Because tomorrow's Monday, but me and Smoke will be back tomorrow for
Hmm.
the 11 o'clock Central Q&A, where we just basically sit and play with prompts for an hour.
Oh,
So if y'all got nothing to do, then we'll be there. Um,
yeah,
it's our first time back. We had a 2 weeks off because Smoke was getting his floors redone.
it's true. And tomorrow I'm getting my doors redone.
Oh, Bass, you're going to be there, right?
I will be there. I just
Okay.
there may be a little bit of construction going on.
Oh, that's fun.
we're gonna see what needs to happen. It's
Oh my
just the
gosh.
doors
I
though, so
hope you have a bad word ready.
I do.
Good. All right, folks. Wait, why is he so good though? That's amazing. Ruben, I like your jackets. Those are dope. Mall shopping, respect. That reminds me of those shoes that had the fish in the bottom. I'm a little unsettled by that. I'm not gonna lie. I want demon fish.
Eh.
Fish cruelty. Save the fish. The platform shoes. Yes, exactly. Like disco stew. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good. All right, folks. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope that you were able to learn something. Yay. Glad to hear it's sick, James.
Yay. Yep,
Oh, that's
always here to
amazing.
help.
All right. Well, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and that your week does not suck bass.
Indeed.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.